Good morning students. In the last video we have seen about the editing and formatting worksheets. We have seen about inserting columns, rows, inserting multiple columns and rows, and deleting single column, multiple columns, and inserting cells. We have seen in the last week have seen about text formatting, number formatting. So all these we have seen in the last video. So in this video, we are going to see the next part of the chapter 7, that is inserting functions and charts. So how to insert a function. So already we have seen how to construct a formula. So the same thing, the function is nothing but it is a predefined formula. So which is already available in OpenOffice Calc. So how to insert the function to perform a specific action, and also how to insert the chart. So the chart is nothing but it is a pictorial format of the selected data range. The numeric data range is represented in a pictorial format. So the data representation is made more easy and convenient to understand the numeric data, that is numeric inputs, what are all the inputs given. So it is more easy to understand and it is easy to conclude the with the given data. So these are the two main concepts, two main key features which makes the spreadsheet more successful. So it's more powerful and more efficient, it makes the spreadsheet. So these are the two main important concepts, function and the charts. So these are the discussion points which we are going to discuss in this video. So first one, we are going to see about function. So what is the function? So what is the definition for the function? So what are all the types of functions available? How they are categorized? So all these things we will be discussing in the first point. That is what is a function and how to insert a function. So the function can be inserted in two methods. One is a direct insert method and using the function wizard. So these are the two methods to insert a function. And next one, we are going to see about how to insert chart. So what is first we are going to see what is a chart. So what are all the key components or the key steps available in the chart, and how to insert the chart with the help of the chart wizard. So what are all the steps, the 4 steps involved in the chart wizard. So these are the two main topics which we are going to discuss in this video. So first we are going to see about functions. So in OpenOffice Calc, almost there are 350 predefined functions available under 11 categories. So the functions are nothing but it is a predefined formula which is already available in the OpenOffice Calc. They are specifically used to perform some frequently done calculation. So frequently done calculation will be stored as a function. So and that predefined function can be used for performing with the data. And every function has a unique name, and a prototype is nothing but a syntax. So a function will have a syntax, so it means that it will have some predefined set of values to be given by the user. So say for example, if a function named sum, so sum is used to add the values. So it will be having within the bracket, it will be having the number of n number of values. It means that the user can give the n number of values separated by a comma. So like that a prototype will be there. And next one is your functions are categorized according to their functionality. So based on the functionality, the functions are classified. Say for example, sum, total, average. So all these will come under in one category. So like that, the functions are categorized based on that functionality. So next one is inserting functions into the worksheet, that is the spreadsheet. So in two methods the function can be inserted. First one is direct insert method, or the second method is using the function wizard method. So first we will see about the direct insert method. So if the user knows the function name and its syntax, so the user can type directly into the cell in the worksheet. So for example, you see the user can directly type the function name sum. So sum is the most frequently used function to add a set of values, group of values. So a function will begin with the equal to symbol. So we have already seen the steps for constructing a formula. So in that, the formula must begin with the equal to symbol. So here the equal to symbol is used, and then the function name within the bracket, you see the value 1, the range 1, range 2, range 3, and it goes on till range n number of ranges. So this is the syntax. Say for example, it can be range 1 or it can be a cell 1, like that. So range means A1 to B5, like that. It is a group of cell. Like that we can add a group of cells, 2 or more group of cells, or we can just add even a single cells. So if the user want to the sum of the value of from A1 to A5. So A1 to A5 means we have to place the cell pointer in A6, the next cell next to the where we want to store the result, and there we have to type the formula. So it is equal to sum of A1 to A4. So till A1 to A4, if the user want to add the values means the user can use this range. This is the range 1. So like that it calculates the total value from A1 to A4. So while inserting a function, the some of the points to be kept in mind. So first one is a function should begin with an equal sign, and the proper name for the function must be used. So in case if any spelling mistake or if any error in the syntax means the function will not work. And third one is argument should be given within the bracket as per the syntax. Here the arguments, term argument is nothing but the range 1, range 2, range 3, like that. So all these, the values which are giving within the bracket are called as arguments. And each function has a unique argument list. So it is not compulsory that all the function will have these same arguments, like that. So each and every function will have a unique argument list. And the fourth one is press the enter key after typing the function. So after the user types the function, at the end the user must press the enter key for working of the function. So then only the function will work. So once you press the enter key, it automatically calculates the value and displays the result in the required cell pointer. So this is how the user can insert the function directly into the cells. And next one is inserting functions using the function wizard method. So a function can also be inserted using the function wizard. That is a template will be there. So just we need to just select the function and feed the values. So it's a using the function wizard method. So function wizard is a dialog box which provides the step-by-step procedure to insert a function. So function wizard can be invoked by clicking the function wizard icon. In the formula bar there will be a function wizard icon, or the user can select the function wizard from the insert menu. Under that the user can select the function, or just control plus F2, that is the shortcut key for opening the function wizard. So here the function categorized in the drop down list box in the left first diagram, you can able to see the functions are categorized in the drop down list box. So the function wizard has two tabs. One is the function tab and another one is the structure tab. So in function tab, the list of categories, the available categories will be given in the drop down list box. From that the user can select the categories and also the functions. So in OpenOffice Calc, the functions are categorized into 11 types. We already told that 11 categories and 350 functions. So like that some of the categories are database, date and time, financial, information, logical. Under mathematical you will be having all addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these functions will be there, and arrays, statistical, like that. Totally 11 categories are there, and the functions can be viewed under the drop down list box. The categories can be selected from the drop down list box, and below that the list of functions in the particular category will be displayed. So next one is function description. So when you select a function, the description of that particular function and its syntax will be displayed. So that is the, when you click a function in the function list box, the description of that selected function and its syntax, the prototype, and a small description about that will be displayed in the right side of the dialog box. So that is the function description. And next one is with the help of the cell reference. So how the user can insert the function with using this function wizard. So for example, we are going to select a power function. So first the power function, the description will be displayed. The power function is a function which is used to calculate the power of an exponent value of a number. So that is the usage of the power function. So first the user will click on the power function. There will be two inputs needed. So one is the base value and another one is the exponent value. So for example, we are going to find the value of 25 to the power of 2. So first we need the base value and the power value. So the syntax for the power function is equal to power, and first we have to give the base value, that is 25, with the semicolon and the exponent. So this is the syntax. So in case if you give 25 comma 2, it won't accept. So we have to give 25 colon 2. So that is the syntax. So and both the base and the exponent are the arguments. So we have already told that. So in OpenOffice Calc, the arguments are separated by semicolon. So it is most important thing. So inserting, first step, how to insert. Say for example, in a cell A2, we have to type the base value, and in the next cell, that is B2, we are going to type the exponent value, and in the third cell we are going to display the answer. So there we have to click the fx, that is the function wizard, which will be available in the formula bar. So then the user will view the function wizard. And next one is we have to select the mathematical function. So the power function will come under the mathematical category. So we have to select the mathematical function category, and there we can able to see the power function. So we can click the power function. Automatically it displays the description of the power function in the right side of the tab, and we have to click the next button. So in the bottom you will be having the next button for proceeding the next step. So there we will be having two text box. First one is base value and the exponent. So these are the contents that are only related to the power function. So in for some other function, the input may differ and the text box may differ. So for this power function, there are two input needed. So two text box is appeared. So either the user can directly type the column name, that is A2 cell address. Directly the user can type it in the base value, and in the exponent directly the user can type B2. Or in case if the user doesn't know about the cell address, you can see next to the text box you can see a button will be there. So for by clicking that, the user will directly move on to the user will be redirect to the worksheet page. There the user can click the cell where the base value is entered. That is the second step. Either the user can directly type the cell address, it is the first step, or the user can click on the button, it automatically redirects to the worksheet, and there the user can select the cell, that is A2. If we click the A2 means automatically the cell address will be taken. Like that the user can feed the inputs. So once the input is given in the below, automatically below to the input value, you can able to see a text area there the formula will be typed. So automatically once the function is selected, it will automatically types the function is equal to power of, it will wait for the input. Once you give a2 and b2 in the base and exponent, automatically it types the value a2 and b2. So again you press the next button. So once the user gives the base and exponent, these two inputs, automatically the result will be displayed in the result column. So in the result column you can able to see automatically the result will be displayed. And also in the top there will be a column called function result. There will be a text box, will have function result. Both the function result and the result are the same. So this is how the user can insert the function with the help of the function wizard. Next we are going to see about working with charts. So the user has entered all the data, all the inputs, and the user need more easiest way to represent the data in a pictorial format. So for that purpose the chart is used. So first, one of the most important feature in the worksheet is to create the chart based on the numeric data. So based on the numeric data, the charts are created. And the charts are used to present the data in an easy manner. So creating charts is one of the most important factor for the success of the spreadsheet. So all these uh, creating charts and creating functions all are the key factor for the betterment of the spreadsheet. And OpenOffice Calc provides a chart wizard. So in the function we have seen about function wizard. So here for creating and manipulating the charts, the OpenOffice Calc provides chart wizard. So first we are going to see about what is a chart wizard. So chart wizard is used to insert the charts in OpenOffice Calc. So the user can select the chart from the insert menu selecting the chart command, or the user can select the chart icon from the standard toolbar. So this is how the chart wizard can be opened. So here the chart wizard contains 4 important steps. So first one is chart type, and second one is data range, third one is data series, and the last one is chart elements. So these are the 4 important steps involved in the chart wizard. So first we are going to see about what is the chart type. So what is the type of the chart? So the user can select the various type of chart to be displayed. So first step is chart wizard is used to select the chart type. All available chart types are listed in this chart type first step. So under the chart type category, the user can see the column chart, bar chart, pie chart, area chart, like that. So all the various types of charts are listed in the chart type category. And the user can select a 3D look of the selected chart type. So the 3D look checkbox helps to display the selected chart type in an attractive form. For that, for the easiest understanding and the attractive look, the user can select the 3D look. And this 3D look is only applied for the column chart, bar chart, pie chart, and the area chart. For these 4 chart types only the 3D look is applicable. So after selecting all the chart type and the 3D look, the user must select the next button. So it moves on to the next step. And the second step is data range. So in this step, the user must specify the range of data for which the chart should be created. So that is the range must be selected. So the data range text box, or just click on the select data range. Directly the user can select the data range from the by clicking the select data range button, that is next to the text box. You can see the small button will be there, which is similar we have seen in the function wizard for selecting the cells. The same button, data range button, we have to click on the select data range button. From there the user can select the data range from the cells. So, or the user can directly type the data range if it is known. So, if the user had selected the data before invoking the chart wizard, means the selected range will be automatically appear in the data range text box. So, in case if the user wants to select the data range after coming to the chart wizard, means the user can directly type or the user can select. So, these are the two methods. So, there will be two checkboxes will be there used to select the first row and the first column, that is x and y axis label. So, there the user needs to checkbox click on the checkbox. So, after selecting all these, the user has to proceed to the next step, that is the third step. The user has to click on the next button. And the third step is data series. So, in this step the user can fine tune the data to be included in the chart. So, if the user don't want to include any column and click on the column names that is listed in the data series box and click on the remove button. So, in case if the user want to add some more column, means the user can use the add button. So, like that the user can either remove the column name or the user can remove the existing column names. And uh, this is most one of the useful method for specific requirements of data in the chart. So, to mention the column name, that is x-axis name for the x-axis and the y-axis. So, after mentioning the name for the y-axis, that is the column names, that is the data series, the user can click on the next button. So, it moves on to the next step, that is the last step, chart element step. And the last step we are going to see is chart elements. So, this step is used to insert or change the titles and the legend. Legend is nothing but the plotting ID, the plotting values will be mentioned in the chart itself. So, in the title box the user can type the title from the chart to add, and also the user can select the subtitle in the subtitle box. So, like that, for example, the chart is for mentioning the highest mark holder. So, the user can type the highest mark holder in the title box. So, automatically the title of the chart will be displayed. So, like that the user can add or modify the labels of x-axis and y-axis. The after selecting all these, the user has to click on the finish button. So, once the finish button is clicked, the chart will be prepared for the selected data range. So, this is how the user can insert a chart for the selected data ranges.